Sleepy, sleepy.
Hello you guys, welcome back to LinPRinP. Welcome back to this channel. Your girl is cutting up chicken. Alright, so I'm going to be cutting up some chicken. I think I have like 3. Yeah, I'm cutting up chicken, so join me. Alright, so welcome back to Vlogmas day 8, right? And for today, we're going to be doing a year review today. So I've been kind of switching it up with Christmas and year review. So for today's year review question, and I want you to ask yourself this question as well, is what career growth have you made this year, right? In the year 2022, how did you grow? There's something with this neck. Have you ever seen a chicken's neck that's this long? Kind of weird. What was your career growth this year? How did you grow career-wise this year? Alright, I'm gonna need help with this chicken today because I've never seen a chicken's neck that's that long. So anyway, a lot of people always tell me, "Oh, Lara, how do you do these YouTube videos? You're not even shy. You know, you don't look like a shy person." I'm like, "No, I'm very shy, actually." But I think YouTube has taught me how to relax a little bit, how to relax a little more. I remember when I first started doing YouTube, I couldn't even talk in front of the camera without typing out everything I was going to say, and just so I can have everything perfect, have everything ready to go. I was so scared of going off script. I was so scared of getting it wrong. But now, and it's very helpful when they tell you, just start. You want to do YouTube, just start. Because once you start, you're going to start realizing that you can actually do more than you think you can't do, right? So when I first started on YouTube, I was so scared of messing up, so scared of getting it wrong, so scared of forgetting what I was going to say. But now I can say that I'm a little bit more confident. And that was always my problem, actually, lack of confidence. Me that I couldn't talk for 3 to 5 minutes. Now I can talk and I'm like, oh my God, I'm talking too much. So yeah, so definitely just start. Just starting YouTube helped me in getting more confidence in front of the camera. And yeah, so in terms of career, YouTube is actually my part-time, I want to say my per diem job. It's not my full-time job yet. It's not my full-time job. I do have a full-time job that I do. And how have I grown in that regard? So I'm the type of person that likes to be in the background. Actually, I don't want, please don't call me for anything. I'm the type of person that I do my work, go home. Please don't call me for anything special. Don't call me for anything extra. I do my work, I go home. But lately I'm like, you know what? I'm educated. I need to advance, right? I need to advance. I need to take risks. And I think that's what it is. I was always so comfortable in doing my job and getting out that I wasn't ready to take risks. I was getting comfortable where I was. And I know that that is not what God wants for us, right? As children of God, He wants us to move forward. He wants us to be excellent. So sometimes when we feel like, oh, when we feel like what I'm doing is comfortable, what I'm doing doesn't take anything extra out of me, that is the time you actually need to worry. That's the time you actually need to take it a step further, right? Take it a step further. Growing up, I was always, I think I had low self-esteem when I was growing up. I had acne really bad, and I felt like everyone was just staring at my face instead of what I could do. So that kind of messed me up a little bit. And then as I started having kids, that confidence just came out of nowhere. Because when you push out a whole human being out of your you know who, that confidence will be like, yeah, I can conquer the world now. So I think that was what happened with me. When I had the kids, I was like, oh, something was birthed. Something else was birthed. Right? The confidence came out of nowhere. I didn't care if I had acne anymore. I was like, you know what, let's do this. Right? So when I turned 30 years old, I just reviewed my life like 30 years, another 30 more, 60, another 30 more, you're gone. And I'm like, what legacy am I going to leave in this world? Right? So with this year review, today's question, like I said, is how have you advanced yourself professionally? Because LinPRinP is living in peace to resting in peace, talks about living a life, a full life, in 6 categories, you know, physically, academically, spiritually, psychologically, financially, and academically, right? I think I've said 6. So when I put that into consideration, going over my life review, I always talk about those 6 categories as well. So professionally, how have I grown? I took risks. I took a couple of steps. I took a couple of steps this year that I'm so proud of. I decided to be a clinical coach, which basically means clinical coach, meaning when you have new workers when you have new workers, you can train them, right? You can train new workers, train them to the company's policies, train them to the company's policies, and basically bring them up to speed so that they can stand on their own. How many minutes? 9 minutes. Okay. So that they can stand on their own. And I've always done this before when I was in New York, but it just wasn't on a full scale, I want to say. So it wasn't officially, that's the word, it wasn't official. So I'm so excited that I took that step this year. I'm now a clinical coach. So if we have I'm actually going to have my first trainee very soon, before the end of this year. And it comes with a little bit more pay, so it's good. It comes with a little bit more pay, so it's kind of like a promotion. but not a lot of people like to take that responsibility. And with my experience, you know, I think it's a good idea, even though it's a long time coming. So I'm very proud of myself that I did that for myself. And the other thing that I did was also to become a unit champion. So I just want to use this as an opportunity to inspire, because that's always my job. I want to inspire you that, you know, regardless of where you are, regardless of what you're doing, try to take risks, because the other people that are doing it don't have two heads. That's always what I tell myself. Those people don't have two heads. If they can do it, I can do it. I remember when I was when this lady was pregnant at my job. I remember when she was pregnant, and you know, she was still going about her day, and I was very scared then. When I got pregnant, I was nervous about working, and I was like, if she can do it, I can do it. That's always my something that helps to relieve my anxiety. If somebody else can do it, then Lara, they don't have two heads, they don't have 10 heads. You can do it too, right? You have a brain, they have a brain. You can do it. All right, so always look for sentences, look for statements, look for affirmations that's going to help push you to do what you don't want to do. I believe I've said this in one of my videos before, to dare yourself to do something that scares you. Dare yourself to do it, and when you do it, you're like, oh, it's even really not that bad, you know. I like how Pastor Mildred, Pastor Kinsley's wife, how he puts it. If you don't know how to drive, of course driving is going to be daunting to you. It's going to be like, oh my goodness, I can't drive, I'm going to die, oh my gosh. But once you learn how to drive, you're like, oh, it becomes second nature, because now you know what to do. So basically that's how I see it. These African chickens are tough to crack. So yeah, always dare yourself to do something that scares you. And the thing is, one of my other sayings that I tell myself is, once you put your foot in it, the next thing is success, basically. And the thing about successful people is they always take risks, and they always learn from their failures. So how are you going to learn from your failure if you don't even take the initial step of trying? You know what I'm saying? So professionally, I am so excited for doing that. And how have I failed actually professionally? Because you have to talk about both ways. That's how you're going to grow. How have I failed is, there's this test that I'm supposed to take many years ago, right? And once you have 2 years of experience in my field, in the healthcare industry, you can take this test to become certified. And for the life of me, I'm always scared of taking tests. For the life of me, I haven't taken this test in over 15 years, and I'm like, this is pitiful. That's how scared I am of this test. I've taken other tests and passed, but this test just scares the F out of me. You know what the pass mark is? 67. And I'm like, Lara, what is wrong with you? So I have made up my mind that 2023, God willing, if I see it, God willing, if that is God's plan for me, I'm going to put this test behind me, 2023. So I'm going to take the steps necessary to get that ball rolling, right? And hopefully I'll be able to come on here and tell you that I've passed it. That's the plan. So professionally, I've talked about my successes, and I've talked about my failures, and you know what the plan is for next year. Do tell us in the comment section what your successes are, and what your failures are, and what you plan to do next year in the year 2023, God willing. And I think what part of my self-esteem problem, my self-esteem issue, is part of our culture in Africa, where you know, we don't celebrate our successes enough. We don't celebrate our successes enough. We usually do private what you call it, private our successes are usually celebrated privately. So I think that's one thing that actually affected me, because a lot of the wins that I've had I've never really celebrated them publicly. It's always been on the hush-hush side. So after a while, I started feeling like, oh, what's the point of, you know, even doing it when, you know, you don't get to celebrate it as much, because unfortunately the heart of man is wicked, and not a lot of people will celebrate with you. Not a lot of people will celebrate with you truthfully when you succeed. So I think that's part of what kind of pushes me away from even trying in the first place. But that is definitely not an excuse. You can still do what you need to do. You can still celebrate privately. Not everybody needs to know your business. Also, in everything you want to use wisdom in how you do things anyway. So whatever you want to do, just put everything in God's hands. Put yourself under God's wings. Take a step. Take a leap of faith at least and do it. Now, if you succeed or if you don't succeed, at least you've tried, right? First you don't succeed. Pick yourself up and try again. You can dust it off and try again, try again. It's not the end of the world. And you can always pick yourself up and try again until you get it right. All right, so that's it. I'm still fighting with this African chicken, but I'm winning. And by the time I'm done seasoning this chicken here, should I invite you? You want to come and eat? Okay. All right. Thank you very much for joining me in the kitchen today. P.S. I learned how to cut chicken. I learned how to cut chicken from my uncle. Thank you, uncle, for teaching me. Every time I cut chicken, I always think about my uncle, because, you know, it's such, you know, it's just such a beautiful thing when you learn something positive from people. It stays with you forever. Anytime I cut chicken, I always think of my uncle. I hope you're enjoying Laraddiji's LinPRinP Vlogmas so far, because there's still so much more to come. All right, you guys, stay tuned. You see me in my next one. And like I always say, let's love our neighbors as ourselves, and remember to rest in peace. We all need to be living in peace. Stay blessed. Peace out.